Hey people, welcome to the special episode of the tutorial. We've come a long way learning about different roles and positions. By now we should have learned the basics about supporting and offlaning and ganking. Now it's time to level things up with probably the most important role in the game, carries. We will go in depth with all the tricks and tips related to position 1. We'll also tell more details about the easiest heroes to play with. We'll also learn about some more hidden mechanics and interactions between certain spells. So put your seatbelts on, this lesson is going to be wild. So let's start. Position 1. Position 1 heroes are mostly carries who go to the safe lane. That's the bottom lane in the case of the Radiant and the top lane for Dire. Safe lane is called like that because the creep wave meets closer to the allied tower. This makes it harder for the enemy mid heroes to surprise you out of nowhere and kill you. The main goal for position 1 heroes is to farm. Farming means getting the gold from your enemy creeps. If you deliver a killing blow on the enemy creep, it drops a small amount of gold which quickly adds up. If the enemy hero in your lane is not contesting your farm, you should have at least 70 last hits by the 10-minute mark. Most of the time, carries are useless during the early stages. They're also really easy to kill, so they make juicy targets for the enemy team. That's why you should always have at least one support in your lane, or two if you want to secure the maximum farm. The idea of these heroes is to farm as much as you can in order to secure a few big items and become the ultimate weapon. Midas is one such item which helps a lot with this. Some carries need more farm, some need more experience. Midas gives a flat amount of gold and triples the experience of the transmuted creep. If you end up near the jungle camp and you see a small creep there, use a Midas on it. If you need more gold, instead of giving you only 20 gold, the creep will give you 190 gold. But if you need more experience, use the Midas on larger creeps. However, the earned gold drops it significantly, because in other words, if you killed the large creep in a normal way, it would give you around 90 gold. Using the Midas on it will only give you 100 more gold, in comparison to 170 gold if used on a small creep. So prioritize depending on what you need the most. Like we said, some carries need gold, some need items, but they always need both of them. But some heroes need something more. Take Anti-Mage for example. His first skill burns mana, second skill gives you a blink ability, and third gives you some magical resistances. However, once you max out your first skill, it will never burn more mana than it says it will. Still, there's a certain item called Mantra, which creates the illusions of your hero. And yes, these illusions can also burn mana. Suddenly, you have a skill which is 3 times as powerful as the maxed out one. Then you have a hero like Phantom Assassin. This hero needs to max out her massive critical strike ultimate as soon as possible. She doesn't need damage items or attack items in the early or mid stages of the game. She needs experience, and her skills will do what items can't. To repeat though, we're not saying that these heroes don't need experience in the case of Anti-Mage, or items in the case of Phantom Assassin. They simply need the other thing more. With that being said, let's start with naming some easy heroes and listing out some really interesting tricks and mechanics related to them. Let's start with Juggernaut. That hero has a free magical immunity integrated into one of his spells. Magical immunity is what carries need the most. I often see players who prioritize damage items over some magical immunity. This means that these players can potentially suck up a single and most basic stun, get out of position and get killed. Nobody will care about 5 different damage items in your inventory if you can't land a single hit because you're being focused with stuns and disables. You can also use your spin and teleport out without the fear of getting disabled. You can also hit other magical immune units such as buildings while you spin. You can also hit buildings during Omnislash in the case that enemy units are close to it. Omnislash can, given that you have enough attack speed, apply item effects such as Bash or Chain Lightning. Let me give you one general tip in case you're laning against Warlock. He's able to place fatal bonds on you and your other creeps. Any damage received by the connected unit will transfer a portion of it to all other connected units. This means that you can easily kill yourself if you try to deny a connected creep while being on low HP. So be careful about that. While we're already talking about Fatal Bond, let's mention a special interaction with Blink Dagger, since some carries almost always go for that item. If you're connected with Fatal Bonds and you have Blink Dagger, it won't get disabled by the damage done through the damage transfer, so keep that in mind. And also, let's say that you play with Medusa on the safe lane against a Necrophos. You can clearly see from your spell description that the mana shield reduces damage as long as you have mana. However, not in the case of the Necrophos and its Heartstopper aura. That damage is flat, hard-coded HP removal, which overrides the protection from mana shield. Medusa is also another example of a hero who prefers to have farm over experience, so remember the Midas tips from earlier. Another general tip if you're playing against a Zeus or a Sniper, imagine you're on low HP and running to the base to heal. You know that Zeus might ult soon. No problems. Just pop up a smoke while you're invisible. Zeus's ult won't work. Same thing with Sniper's ultimate. Using smoke on yourself while being far away enough from the Sniper will break his annoying Assassinate. Now, there's a cool hero called Legion Commander who has a potential of getting infinite amounts of damage through her ultimate. Unless you duel an enemy hero, Meepo in that case, if the dueled Meepo's clone dies, you won't be getting any extra damage. That whole thing around Meepo it's messed up, since Zeus can only hit the main Meepo with his ultimate. However, Bounty can stack 4 or 5 tracks on all the Meepos and get bonus gold from each track. There are a ton of things you'll have to learn, and I know I am not doing you any favours with listing all those hidden mechanics. Might just be scaring you off in the end, but yeah, that's Dota. There's an item called Black King Bar, which gives you spell immunity, except 50 different spells go through it. My spell that's doing 400 damage? Nope, you forgot to take into account the natural magical resistance, or any other form of extra resistance from items. Suddenly, your spell only does 250 damage, unless we're talking about pure damage type, which doesn't get reduced. It's a crazy world, but that's exactly what hooks you in. So see you soon with another tutorial where we are going to share even more tips and tricks. This is Ben, take care.